Mabuhay, this is Bob from Love Beyond the Sea. I hadn't even thought about what I'm going to call this video, but I wanted to talk about this comment here about whether love is a decision or an emotion, and I feel like it's more of a decision that you need to make to show that you love someone, and this person wasn't sure what I meant, so they said, then why did you get married? You don't decide to love someone, you are deeply confused. And so here is where I'm coming from. My understanding and my belief is that love is really only seen in tough times, in adversity. Because when you compare it with this biblical definition of love, which is in a short paragraph or so, it just outlines completely for us what love is. This is 1 Corinthians 13, 4 through 7. Please subscribe here to Love Beyond the Sea and leave a comment, get notifications for other videos on YouTube. I like to talk about marriage to a woman from the Philippines. And this is a biblical pro-Filipina channel. So it says there, 1 Corinthians 13, 4 through 7, love is patient. Love is kind. Love is not envious or boastful or arrogant or rude. It does not insist on its own way. It is not irritable or resentful. It does not rejoice in wrongdoings, but rejoices in the truth. It bears all things, believes all things, hopes all things, endures all things. Now, I could almost read that 100 times in a row to try to get this to sink in. Well, here's why I think love is a decision. I mean, if everything's going your way and it's just like a fantasy or something, well, you really don't know that's love until you get tested. You really don't know if you're good at anything until you get tested. How about patience? The very first one, and probably therefore the most important one, patient. Well, when you're struggling with something, in your dating or married relationship with your Filipino wife or any woman, then your love is going to be tested to be impatient. It's also translated long-suffering. There's going to be many times when if you choose to endure something and suffer long, you're going to be asking yourself, why am I doing this? I mean, what your flesh wants to do is be impatient and lash out, but we need strength to make the decision to be patient, and that's otherwise called long-suffering. The second one listed there is love is kind. That means it's kind. That means when you're struggling with patience and things are going terrible, your actions are still kind. That's what it means. Now you tell me, is that an emotion or a decision? Your emotion, when things are going south, is to be unkind and hurtful. But love shows that you've made the decision to be kind regardless. And then it says, love is not envious. Love is not boastful. Love is not arrogant. And love is not rude. It says love does not insist on its own way, which is saying love is not selfish. So I know in relationships, you got two people that each want their own way, and you can't both have your own way. Somebody has to let the other person have their own way, or it's not really a marital relationship. It's like a dictatorship. Love does not insist on its own way. In other words, love is not selfish. So when things are going out of control, you have to tell yourself, I can't insist on my own way. I have to do what's best, but I can't insist on my own way. No matter how I'm being treated, I still need to say, I'm going to decide to be patient. I'm going to decide to be kind. I'm not going to be selfish, not going to be rude. Love is not irritable or resentful. It's getting really hard now, this love. And your body and your flesh and your mind are not going to respond this way because it's just too difficult. That's why, a Christian, somebody under the influence of the Holy Spirit, can handle things this way because it's going to take God's grace 100% to do this. But you have to decide, no matter what happens, I'm not going to be irritable or resentful. I'm going to want to be. Sure, that's my natural reaction. But the right way to love is the opposite of our natural responses. So love is not irritable no matter what. Love is not resentful no matter what. It does not rejoice in wrongdoing. It rejoices in the truth. You don't want to wish bad things to happen on your spouse or your girlfriend when things aren't going right. You always focus on what is true, and that includes this definition of love, no matter how hard it is to decide to do this. Love is patient, love is kind, love is not envious or boastful or arrogant or rude, is not selfish or irritable or resentful, does not rejoice in wrongdoings. It ends there with this, which is not even easier at all. It says, it, being love bears all things. Whatever happens, you don't run out, you bear it. You decide to bear it, no matter how your body feels or your brain feels or whatever anybody's saying. Love bears all things. It believes all things and hopes all things. So what that means is that it doesn't quit, it doesn't give up. It still hopes and believes and prays for things to improve, things to get better. You can do that. You can pray for the things change and the directions of things is different. Maybe pain eases up or conflict, subsides. But nevertheless, we are to believe that things can get better and hope that things can get better, all things. And then to sum it up, it says endures all things. So it starts, love is long-suffering, and then it ends with love endures all things. Now, to endure all things, whatever that is, many, 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 many things, unpleasant, true love still has made the decision that I am going to endure. I'm in it for the long haul. Doesn't mean I like it or it feels good, but nevertheless, I keep thinking and praying things will get better, and love endures all things. That's what love is. Okay, now, I'm not saying that if somebody is doing the opposite of these things to you, that you just have to take it like a punching bag. I'm not saying that. But I'm saying that the perception and attitude of us, especially if we're married, about love, if we're going to use that word, this is what love is. And I think it probably makes us wince before we get even halfway through. It's tough, and it takes a decision to do this. And if you don't see this type of love, then it's not love. I don't know what it is, but it's not love. So leave a comment on this. I hope this is controversial. It should be. Nobody said love was easy. Love is not infatuation, something fleeting and emotional. Can't build anything on that. Love is all of these things I just read in 1 Corinthians 13, 4 through 7, and a whole lot more. So I tried to talk about that and other things that I think might help you in a relationship here on Love Beyond the Sea.